In this session, we will learn how to manually specify loading slot by the user, in case there are cargoes that the optimization engine has not assigned to a loading slot. First, let's look at the function of inquiring the cargo list for which the engine did not specify a loading slot. To view the list, click the Edit Open Editor menu at the top of the program. Then, Remain Container List box appear on the screen. Click the Edit Remain CFL menu in this box. As shown on the screen, a list of cargoes that the engine could not specify the loading slot appears. Next, let's open the bay plan to load the remaining cargo. If you double-click the target hatch number to open on the main screen, the bay plan will appear. At the bottom of the bay plan, there are 4 radio buttons: Edit Off, Move, Select Out, and Select In. The Move button is a function to move the container slot within the same hatch. Select Out is a function to move containers to Remain Container List from the bay plan. Select In is a function that allocates containers from Remain Container List to the bay plan. After selecting the Move button, user can drag a container in the bay plan with the mouse to empty slot. If user dragged the mouse to the slot where the container is already assigned, the positions of the 2 containers will change each other. Next, let's look at how to use the Select In button. After selecting the Select In button, first select the containers in the Remain Container List box to specify the loading slot. To select containers one by one, simply click the Select checkbox. Here, we will select all containers at once by selecting the Select All checkbox. Now, let's move the container to the bay plan of the 11th hatch that was opened just ago. In the bay plan, if user drag the slot with the mouse and specify the range where containers being placed, the containers selected in the Remain Container List are displayed on the bay plan, and the corresponding cargo is removed from the list. And Select Out button has the opposite function of Select In button. We will move containers that was moved to the bay plan a while ago to Remain Container List again. This time, select the Select Out button and drag the containers you want to move out with the mouse in the bay plan. Then, you can see that containers are added at the bottom of Remain Container List. Using the function of the Select Out and Select In together, it is possible to move containers from one bay to another, and Redstow has the function to find slots where special containers such as DG, Rafford, and 45 feet container can be loaded. It can be done by selecting the cargo type from the Find Slot menu. Click Reefer to find slot in the Find Slot menu. Slots with reefer receptacle are displayed on the top main screen, and the slot location for 45 feet container can also be found in the same way. If click 45 to find slot in Find Slot menu, slots for loading 45 feet container are displayed on the screen. Next, let's find the slot location of DG cargo. In particular, in the case of DG cargo, if the UN number is specified, the slots available for the specified DG cargo are indicated in consideration of the segmentation rule under the current loading status. Let's click on DG to find slot in the Find Slot menu. Then, a dialog box will appear on the screen where user can select the UN number. Clicks the UN number in the dialog box. On the main screen at the top, user can confirm the slots that can carry the container of the specific UN number. In addition, there is a function that informs the recommended slot location for individual container in the Remain Container List. If user click the Recommend for Selected menu, available slots for the selected size of container are shown. In consideration of the current status, the engine displays slots for the container selected from the list, which are calculated in consideration of the gantry crane's workable height and reach, visibility, stacking height and weight. However, if there are no suitable slots within the limit of the allowable stacking weight, engine can display slots that exceed the allowable stacking weight. Therefore, if the plant has been modified by user, the user must directly verify and evaluate the modified plan by himself. For the verifications and the evaluations, Redstow is providing functions to support the user validation of the modified plan, which are validate stowage only or validate with stability in the Edit menu. Now, let's actually demonstrate processes of modifying the plan using the Recommend for a Selected menu. Finding slots for the size of container on the list, moving containers of the list to slots founded, and validating the modified plan. First, select a container at the Remain Container list by clicking the check button on the right end of the list. Then go to the Find Slot menu and click the Recommend for Select menu. When the slots is displayed on the top main screen, user can adjust or modify the plan using the Select In function. User can select container one by one at a time in the list. However, if there are multiple containers of the same size and type in the list, user can select the multiple containers from the list and move them together. Let's select all containers of the same size and type from the list. Next, open the Hatch 21 and clicks the Select in Radio button first. Then, drag over slots with mouse to place containers on the bay plan. Once the plan is modified in this way, you can save the changes by closing the bay plan. After saving the changes, let's go to the Edit menu and select the Validate Storage Only menu. The engine then evaluates the stacking weight and height for the entire storage. If the modified plan is fine, an empty list will appear in the Error in Warning list box. Otherwise, if there is anything that violates the allowable limit of stacking weight or height, the violated content will appear in the list. As we've seen so far, users can conveniently adjust and modify the storage plan using these add-on functions provided by Redstone program. If the additional slot to location cannot be found in the current state, the user need to change the cargo layout, ease the storage rules, or adjust the ballast to obtain additional slot locations. So far, we have looked at useful functions for users to manually modify the plan produced by the optimization engine. In the next session, we'll explain the optimization options and learn how to use them. Thank you.